I had no idea what to do until my phone buzzed. It was a text from my old college friend, Alex. Hey Phoebes, in your area for work. Drinks tonight? Alex was always the prankster in our friend group, always coming up with wild schemes. If anyone could help me out of this mess, it was him. I quickly texted him back. Actually, can you come over? I have a situation and could use your help. Bring your acting skills. The doorbell rang an hour later, and I raced to answer it before Holly or Nicholas could. When I opened the door, I saw a police officer standing at my doorstep. Oh my God, Alex! Zrenya, I looked at him with wide eyes. You're wearing the perfect costume. I quickly stepped outside and closed the door behind me. What happened, Phoebes? Zrenya, Anspersil. I need your help getting rid of my relatives, I told him, still fascinated by his fake police uniform. They've completely taken over my house. I quickly explained the situation, and Alex agreed to help. Then I opened the door and called out to Holly and Nicholas. Holly, Nicholas, can you come here please? There's a police officer who needs to speak with us. They were smiling when they came into the hallway, but their expressions immediately changed when they saw Alex in his uniform. Good evening, Alex said. I'm Officer Johnson. We've received reports of a break-in at this address. Can you tell me what's going on here? Nicholas looked at me, squinting his eyes. Then, he puffed up his chest and slowly walked toward Alex. There's no break-in here, officer, Nicholas said in a serious tone. We're family. Everything's fine. Officer, these people entered my home unlawfully, I said. I never gave them permission to be here. Alex nodded and then looked at Holly and Nicholas. How did you gain entry to this residence? Zrenya, Alex Zaprashev. We used a key, Holly stammered. Mom gave it to me. It was a spare key for emergencies. But no one asked my permission, I intervened. So technically, you broke in. Who knows what might be missing? I see, Alex said, looking around the house. And when the homeowner asked you to leave, did you comply? Now, hold on a minute, Nicholas said, his voice trembling slightly. We did. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the premises immediately. Alex cut him off, pulling out a pair of handcuffs. Failure to do so could result in charges of breaking and entering, as well as trespassing. I wanted to laugh so hard watching Nicholas pretending to be a police officer. He was just amazing. His last sentence was enough to send Holly and Nicholas into a panic. We're sorry, Holly began. We'll pack up. They quickly began throwing their things into their bags. If you leave right now, Alex said sternly, I won't file charges, but you'll return the key and never trespass again. They didn't need to be told twice. Alex and I watched in silence as they grabbed their kids and their bags and bolted out of the house. I finally laughed once their car sped away. You're a lifesaver, Alex, I said, shaking my head in disbelief. Coffee? Sure, Zrenya, on skazal, как он вошел и закрыл дверь за собой. I quickly made 2 cups of coffee before we sat in my now quiet living room. I can't believe they just assumed they could live here, Alex said, shaking his head. I know, I sighed. Part of me feels guilty, you know? They're family after all, but I just couldn't let them freeload off me like that. You did the right thing, Phoebe, Alex reassured me. They can't just take advantage of you because their harebrained scheme failed. I'm so glad you messaged me at the right time, Alex, I said, looking at my phone. I don't know what I'd have done without you. But why did you come dressed up like a police officer? Oh, that, Alex chuckled. I was just messing around with friends, pulling pranks and all. I had no idea my costume would come in handy over here. What a coincidence, right? Yeah, I nodded. What a coincidence. As we talked, I couldn't help but think of the consequences of my actions. Had I done the right thing? Would this drive an irreparable wedge between me and my sister? But then I looked around my living room. It was my space, and I had worked so hard for it. I thought about all the long hours and the sacrifices I'd made to buy a house, and realized I couldn't let Holly and Nicholas just take over everything. I also realized it was okay to put myself first. It was okay to stand up for myself and not let people walk all over me. What would you have done if you were in my shoes?